If the Earth suddenly stopped spinning, what would happen to us? Have you ever wondered why Earth doesn't fall apart? In fact, our planet is constantly in motion. It revolves around the sun and rotates on its axis. But what if Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Would we all be flung into outer space? Would there still be day and night? Or would it instantly turn into a disaster? To find out what would happen if the Earth stopped spinning, watch this video. You'll be amazed by the facts that you never knew before! Why does the Earth spin? To answer this question, let's take a look back in time to see how Earth was formed. About 4.5 billion years ago, the solar system was a giant cloud of gas and dust. As time passed, part of it began to collapse and spin faster and faster. The spinning motion caused the hot matter to flatten into a disk with a bulge at the center. That's when gravity started to take over. The particles in the middle were pulled together and formed the sun. At the same time, the remaining material continued to spin and form planets, including Earth. So, it turns out that Earth and other planets rotate due to the initial angular momentum. Plus, the rotation of Earth on its axis causes the planet to bulge at the equator. Because of this, Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It's wider by about 43 kilometers. How fast does the Earth rotate? Earth's rotation rate affects many aspects of our planet. For example, it determines the duration of day and night. And right now, our planet spins on its axis at more than 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. A point on the equator moves about 167 times faster than the moon travels around Earth. Now imagine a person weighing 70 kilograms standing at the equator. How fast would they be moving? Their speed would be approximately 1,600 kilometers per hour multiplied by 70, which equals 112,000 kilogram meters per second. Would anything change if the Earth slowed down? What if one day you noticed that Earth slowed down its rotation a bit? If it happened gradually, most likely, no one would even notice it. However, a slowdown could lead to serious consequences. First off, the length of a day would increase. Scientists call this phenomenon a sidereal day. When Earth slows down its rotation, such days will be almost 40 minutes longer than usual. Also, the climate would change dramatically. Currently, the rotation of Earth affects wind patterns and ocean currents. Without these forces, weather, as we know it, might cease to exist. Not to mention that air and water would no longer be pushed toward the poles, and then temperatures there would become much lower. Last but not least, Earth's magnetic field would be altered, which would affect the upper layers of the atmosphere. As a result, the ozone layer would stop protecting us from harmful ultraviolet radiation. What would happen to us if the Earth stopped spinning? Now let's imagine the scenario where Earth stops spinning on its axis instantly. What happens next can only be guessed at, because this situation has never occurred in the history of our planet. However, scientists have some theories. First off, an abrupt stop would make Earth lose its balance. It would start falling to the side, but it wouldn't reach the other side. Instead, it would simply crash into space. Then Earth would start free-falling. Everything on the surface would continue moving forward at the previous speed. Therefore, cars, buildings, and people would be swept away. Moreover, water would continue flowing toward the equator, just like before. Since nothing can move faster than the speed of our planet's rotation, the liquid would accumulate on the eastern outskirts. At the same time, on the western outskirts, a tsunami over 100 meters high would form. Such a wave is capable of destroying everything in its path. But the tsunami would subside only after hitting the bottom of the ocean. However, this event would cause earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. When Earth suddenly stops spinning, plants and animals would suffer. Most living organisms are adapted to the rotation of our planet. Plants grow toward the sun, taking into account the rotation of Earth. And animals migrate, relying on the cycle of day and night. But after Earth stops spinning, all that would change. As a result, most plants would die. Animals that can't adapt to new conditions will suffer the same fate. Some animals may survive, but they'll have to face hunger because plants won't have time to grow before they die. Humans will need to find a new home. Where can we go? Unfortunately, there are no planets nearby that could replace Earth. According to scientists, the nearest suitable candidate is Proxima Centauri b, located at a distance of 4.2 light-years from us. Even at the speed of light, it would take more than 4.2 years to get there. If we take into account the fact that spaceships are much slower, it means that we have to wait more than 100,000 years before we can settle on another planet. So where can we go? We suggest making our home on the moon. There are already plans to create a colony there, and maybe one day we'll be able to move there. How would life on Earth change if it kept spinning? But what if Earth continues spinning at twice the speed? Under such conditions, the duration of day and night would be only 6 hours each. But this wouldn't be the worst change. Living things would be affected first! Our bodies are used to the current rotation rate. Twice as fast, spinning would lead to weightlessness, at least near the equator. People would feel like they were in orbit. It's also worth noting that Earth's gravity would change. Scientists have calculated that it would decrease by almost 1%. So those who weigh 70 kilograms on Earth would weigh 68.6 kilograms. Moreover, centrifugal force would push people away from the center of Earth. Under such circumstances, it would be hard to stay on the planet. Those who decide to do so would need to lie on the ground facing up. However, the most significant changes would occur at the poles. If Earth's rotational speed doubles, the centrifugal force will be so strong that it will lift the land, and the poles would turn into new continents. Will Earth ever stop spinning? Some scientists believe that one day Earth will really stop spinning, but it won't happen anytime soon. Our planet will slow down under the influence of tides caused by the gravitational force of the moon and the sun. But even in a few billion years, Earth won't stop spinning completely. Scientists have estimated that in about 50 million years, the moon will be so far away from Earth that it won't be able to significantly affect the rotation of our planet. And it's unlikely that anything will happen to Earth in the next few billion years. So we can sleep peacefully. And what if the Earth started spinning faster? Let's imagine that Earth started spinning faster. What would happen then? Under such conditions, gravity would increase. Plus, our planet would become flatter at the poles and wider at the equator. If Earth's rotational speed increases several times, it will fly apart. That is, it will break apart along the equator. Fragments will scatter around the sun in different directions. Can a meteor strike stop the Earth from spinning? Many of you have probably heard various theories suggesting that a meteor strike could have caused the dinosaurs to go extinct. But could such a strike stop the Earth from spinning? To answer this question, we need to find out how much energy a meteor needs to slow the Earth down significantly. One day, a 6-kilometer-wide meteor hit the Earth. The impact caused a lot of destruction and global warming, but it didn't stop the Earth from spinning. Even a collision with an asteroid twice as large won't make our planet stop spinning. It would take a celestial body over 10 trillion kilometers wide to do that. It's impossible to find such an asteroid anywhere in the solar system. Will Earth keep spinning forever? Scientists have concluded that Earth will continue spinning until it completely cools down. But this won't happen soon. It will take millions of years. As for the sun, it will run out of hydrogen in about 5 billion years. Then it will expand and engulf Earth along with other planets. Perhaps that's why scientists are so concerned about the fact that humanity might destroy our planet long before the sun does. We hope you found the answer to your question. If you did, please leave a like. See you later.